What's up, everybody? Welcome to Three Dads on a Console. My name is Pez.
Did you almost forget your name?
I am not. No, I was gonna go through the whole Waba intro, but I don't want to.
Okay, I wrote that. That was a good intro.
It is a good intro, but I don't host enough to do the intro. So
I never host.
I just figure I'll go into hi everyone. My name is Pez. Welcome to Three Dads on a Console podcast, the flagship podcast of Three Dads on a Console. What are the
flagship?
chances?
Is there any other podcasts?
No, none.
Well, technically, if we wanted to
None.
well, for the people listening, we will do video games at the beginning. But fair warning, I'm pretty sure the last 20 minutes is going to be talking hockey.
Oh, 1,000%.
All right, as long as we know, it's definitely going to happen. It's just it is what it is.
And that beautiful voice joining us from his home now from his wonderful vacation is Court. So Court, how was your vacation?
Dude, I will say this. It is the nicest. I went to Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. I'd never been there before. I've been to Mexico. I've been to Jamaica. I've been to Puerto Rico. I've been to Costa Rica. I've been to St. Lucia. Before going to Dominican Republic, St. Lucia was number 1. Mexico was number 2. Costa Rica was number 3. Actually, so I had one good experience in Costa Rica, one bad experience in Costa Rica. But I really enjoyed Puerto Rico, but I found it very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And that has nothing to do with the people there. It just has to do with the economy there, and it is what it is. Dominican Republic is so nice. Like, I would get a vacation home. I would go back again. It's the nicest. The people, the food, the weather, everything about it is fantastic. You know, when you go to these all-inclusive places and people just come at you and just pretty much always putting their hands out trying to get money from you?
Yeah.
That didn't happen once.
Really?
When you tip someone, you got genuine admiration. They also do this thing where they go like this with their chest and it's showing that they're seeing you from their heart. It's like the greatest thing ever, and they do it all the time.
Wow.
And I was talking to someone who was working at the hotel who was making my old fashions, and Pez, they made a good old fashioned.
Did they? How did they rank in terms of the MJ wherever we drank old fashions?
Well, actually, at Dooley's, I really liked the one at Dooley's.
Yeah,
I thought they were very good.
It was good.
They were very good at Dooley's. Dooley's is actually one of the best I had.
Really?
In a long time. I thought those ones at Dooley's were very good. And even she said, she goes, that the bartender was happy that we were ordering them, remember?
Mm-hmm.
So the first one I got when I got there, their oranges are green there, which is weird. So they're not limes. They're it is what it is. It still tastes like an orange, sort of, but they don't really do simple syrup. They do like just sugar, and they keep spinning it around with the bitters.
Weird.
And yeah, it's not the same. So theirs are a lot stronger, and it tastes more bourbon than anything else.
Gotcha.
So then as I got to know, you're there for a week, you get to know people. And I was talking to there was a rum bar where they had a mixologist there. And I asked for an old fashioned. He started doing it. And he's like, you know what? He's like, he made, sorry, I like heard something in my room.
Just silence.
He made simple syrup.
He made it?
So yeah. Well, he had someone make it, and then it's just sugar and water, and you boil it. So he was like, come back in a bit. So we were watching this movie. They had these outdoor movies for the kids, and we were watching a movie, and I went back, and he made me one with a cherry and everything. It was fantastic.
Really?
So then from then on, I was just going to him. Great guy. The food there was phenomenal. The weather was phenomenal. We had rain for a bit one day. As you can see, I got no tan because I wear sunscreen because, like yourself, we catch on fire.
We do catch on fire.
It was very relaxing. While I was there, I watched all the hockey games on my balcony on an iPad.
On your iPad, we all saw it. It was beautiful.
But it was hilarious. There was because my daughter didn't want me to leave the room because she wanted to make sure everybody was in the room, which is fine. We're in a different place, so she felt more secure if I was there. But there was a sports bar that wasn't very far from my balcony. And when the Leafs scored in Game 7 to take the lead, the whole place erupted. And then when the Bruins scored, I actually heard someone like dropping F-bombs and like anger.
Really?
And there was lots of people from Toronto. Everybody there was from the East Coast. So I did meet a whole bunch of Bruins fans as well. Huge Cam Neely fans. I crushed their dreams once I told them some
You were
stuff.
like, he is a horrible person.
Yeah, he's a huge douchebag. But we were going through everything, and like I'm like, what? And then I talked to the guy, and the guy was like, "Oh, you should have been here. It was amazing." He's like, as soon as the Bruins took the lead, and then they scored in overtime, they were all just crying. It was fantastic. But the restaurants were great. My daughter did karaoke in front of the whole place, in front of the whole resort, in the kids' talent show. Um,
What did she
I don't know,
sing?
man. She sang a Taylor Swift song,
Ooh,
"The
okay.
Man," I think it's called.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Hmm.
the one she sang. Um, I don't know, man. This place was fantastic,
Was it like
but
a sandals or something like
it was the
that?
Hyatt Ziva Kappa. It wasn't
Gotcha.
cheap. It was
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
All inclusive. It was nice. I was sick for like 4 days, and I still have a lingering cough, which was very annoying. So I could only drink a bit,
Hmm.
and then I would have to like slow down so I could do cough medicine. Except for Game 7, I got ripped.
Good for you. Good
I
for
had
you.
a whole bunch of old fashions sitting on my balcony, and so I could
Just
like
double fisting while the Bruins
yeah.
are
Yeah.
being a
Well,
mess.
I thought it was gonna be a bad night, right? So I didn't have faith in our team at all,
No.
especially at when Nylander scored that goal. But I had a fantastic time there. I highly recommend it to anybody if they're gonna be thinking about going to Dominican Republic. You know, DM us or whatever. Dude, it's fantastic. It's
Yeah.
so good, and
I
it's
mean,
very, very, very kid friendly.
it looked like you guys had a great time. Looked
Yeah,
like you
we
guys
did.
had a great time.
How
Mm,
how was your time at home?
it was at home. Actually,
Sorry for everybody if I'm distracted. I'm entering a code for a game that I can't talk about until tomorrow.
speaking of all inclusive, the wife and I think are gonna plan an all inclusive just for her and I in St. Lucia
Ooh.
for our 15th anniversary.
Dude, I love St.
I've
Lucia.
never been. I'm
Dude,
really
so we
excited.
we went for a honeymoon.
Mm,
Now where we went, we got the trip for free. You will go there, but I stayed at the hotel that was there. So there's the 2 Pitons, is like the thing everybody wants to go see, and there's the Viceroy Beach.
yep,
It's the only sandy beach in the whole place. You can go there as a tourist, but I stayed there.
that's awesome.
We It was fantastic. The food there, so it is French Polynesian.
Beautiful.
So it's a lot of there's Spanish flavors, there's French flavor. It's unbelievable the food there. Once again, the people there are phenomenal, and there's cacao trees everywhere.
Really?
Like, yeah, so
Oh,
you could just
so
like
exciting.
take a seed down and like suck on it, like eat raw chocolate. It's phenomenal, dude.
I can't
And
wait.
I am lactose intolerant, and when I was there, didn't matter what I ate, never got sick.
Mm. Well, that's because it's not super whatever they put in our food now. So
Well,
yeah,
I will say this about Dominican Republic. We were there for a week, and my poop was a little weird for a bit.
really. Mm.
Yeah.
I hate to see it. Truly, truly hate to see it. My game 7. So you talked about being in Dominican Republic. I was in a bar up in New Hampshire,
Bah.
a bar, listening to um a band that was called All That 90s, and all they played was like late early 90s and like early 2000s cover. So my brother and I are watching the Bruins game, and they are just this band is just belting out like Third Eye Blind, Spin Doctors, like the Wallflowers, and I'm just like, my wife's like, "Can you come dance with us?" And it's like her and my sister, "Come dance with us." And I was like, "Dude, I'm watching the Bruins game. Leave me alone. Please stop talking to me. Enjoy your dancing. I want to watch a hockey game." I fully expected the Bruins to lose, as I'm sure every Bruins fan did, because you have no faith in this team whatsoever. They pulled it off. It was a great night, great food, good drinks, but man, I was like, this is not what I'm expecting to do in my game 7. Is listen to this band play like a rock version of Britney Spears, "Hit Me Baby One More Time," as I'm watching the Bruins try to bring home a W.
So what is it about Massachusetts that when a hockey game's on, no one cares, even though there's tons of Bruins fans and it's a huge hockey town, but unless it's a Red Sox game, they don't like shut the whole world down to have it on TV.
I don't know.
Because like everybody complains about it on Bruins Twitter all the time. Like if you go try and watch a Bruins game somewhere, it's like they don't even have the volume on.
I don't know. I mean, for the first like 10 minutes, so we were like we were where the band was playing, because that's where my sister and brother-in-law were, where they usually set up, and they left it on Nesson. and I was trying to explain to the waitress, like, I was like, the game is on ABC. You got to put it on ABC. It's not on Nessun. She's like, no, it's on Nessun. I'm like, lady, they are showing us a Bergeron documentary.
There's
It
a
is,
Bergeron documentary.
yeah. And I was like, this is not. I was like, the game is not on. The game is on ABC. Can you please change it? It took like halfway through the first period for them to finally change the TV. Like, you guys are. I should be home. I looked at my wife at one point and I was like, I should be home. What am I doing? Why did you do this to me?
How are you with flying?
Flying? I love. It's fine. Doesn't
So
bother me.
my flight there was brutal. Like the
Really?
turbulence, my kid didn't understand what was going on. Like the plane dropped. Like it was
Oh my gosh. She probably was she freaking out.
not at all. She didn't even realize. She thought she's just on her iPad. Didn't care.
There was one time we went to Washington D.C. I went to D.C. for a conference, and everything was fine. And then all of a sudden, the plane dropped like you were going on a roller coaster. That scared me. Other than that, I'm a great flyer. It doesn't bother me. I usually will bring my Steam Deck or my, in the past it was my Vita or my Switch or whatever, and I'm good. I'm happy. I'm like an iPad kid with my video games. Happy as a clam. That one drop scared me. I was worried. But no, like, we're looking at St. Lucia, we're looking at maybe or the Bahamas. Like, I don't want like a crazy flight, but I don't want my kids. Love my kids, don't want my kids there, and I don't want other people's kids there.
I don't want my kids there.
No, I love my kids. But a weekend, 4 days away from them, just my wife and I, no work, no worries. Sign me up. So that's what we're gonna do for our anniversary. My daughter, my oldest daughter doesn't care. She's an adult. She's out of the house. My youngest daughter is like, we could go to Disney instead. I was like, girl, pump the brakes. We are not going to Disney. I've had enough Disney in my lifetime. Maybe Super
No.
Mario World when it opens, but first your mother and I are going on vacation by ourselves.
So with Vanessa's impending surgery that's going to happen in the next 2 years of my life is going to be, home.
Yeah.
We have decided that when we're all good to go as a family, we're going to go to Paris.
Ooh.
Yeah, because Emma's always wanted to go there.
Yeah.
So by then she'll be 10 years old. It's gonna be almost perfect, right? So we're gonna go to Paris.
Court, you could take her on a trip earlier into feudal Japan with Assassin's Creed Shadow announced today.
Dude. Okay. So hold on. I'm gonna pull up the article that I wrote on Three Dads in a Console. I want to get your opinion first of the trailer and everything that you saw. Like, what did you think of everything today?
I mean,
because I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan, so like I'm biased.
What have we asked for years? Give us an Assassin's Creed in Japan. Give us Ghost of Tsushima, but like with that Assassin's Creed parkour, and give us all that stuff. And it looks like they're gonna give it to us.
They're gonna give us two. It looks like we're getting like both. We're getting
so
two versions.
We're gonna get two characters. We're gonna get that Mirage style of parkour, I believe. So like we're gonna get the core Assassin's Creed in feudal Japan, and I'm all about it. I watched it and I went, yes, I'm playing this. I think it looks great.
It does look good. Like
It does look good.
It looks really good. I have my apprehension around the game itself, solely because I liked Valhalla, but I thought it was way too long.
Way too long.
It had the 3 ending thing, 90 hours. It's just too much.
Yeah.
90 hours just to finish it. So I'm really hoping that it's not as long. I'm hoping that it gets this is gonna sound weird. That 60 hours is like the sweet spot for an Assassin's Creed game.
I agree.
I really, really, really enjoyed Mirage, but I understand with such a big story that they're going to be doing here, and like, as I said in the article, and first off, I'm part of the Ubisoft Creators Program, so I was given some information that I can share. That gives more of a background. So so I'm just going to read some stuff. So enter the captivating, ever-changing world of feudal Japan. The unification of Japan is a fascinating period to explore and an occasion to meet legendary historical features such as Odan. Yeah, I'm totally going to get all these wrong. Odan Nunagaga, or forget it. As an Assassin's Creed Mirage, Ubisoft used external experts, historians, consultants, and internal co-workers to create the world of Osaka and Tokyo. So I if you remember what we played in Assassin's Creed Mirage, it was so historically accurate, and I think Ubisoft has done um, a phenomenal job. And I'm not talking about the characters in the game. I'm talking about, the city that they build and the ambiance
Mhm.
of the game, because they are technically using characters that are based on, but it's more like, I said this to somebody, it's more like Law and Order. You know, when it says these characters are fictional, but they are based on true events?
Yeah.
So these characters, Naoi and Yasuki, I probably said those wrong as well. They are based on real people. So Naoi is your more of an assassin, your stealth, and then Yasuki is the first black samurai, um, that is also in the game. That is causing some controversy. We're not going to talk about that because honestly, I don't care. I people are going to have issues with the game and all that. And then someone was saying that this person they have to make it more historical accurate. That's not what they're doing. They're making a video game here. They're
Right.
basing on the characters. I like the fact that we get 2 characters to use.
Mhm.
I'm very they've never done this in Assassin's Creed, so I'm very interested to see how this works. Like, if we're gonna be playing missions here and they go there, like, because 'cause we're having the 2 characters, but even in the trailer, they had them kinda working together, so maybe some missions we can just, like, almost like Grand Theft Auto, like, press a button and, like, zoom
Yeah.
into the other character. Because
Jump
we
back and
didn't get
forth.
to see any gameplay in this trailer. It was all CGI.
Mhm.
It just gave us more of a backstory of who the characters are, and my guess is, and this is just my guess, Naoi is more of a, that's your assassin, and Yasuki is the one that she's bringing into the Creed.
Mhm.
Like, she was already part of the Creed, and she's, like, bringing them in, so we'll see. I'm very interested because, yes, this is what we've been asking for as Assassin's Creed fans. We've been asking for feudal Japan for forever, and that's why, Ghost of Tsushima, which comes out on PC on Friday, was my favorite game in the last 10 years, by far. Like, I adored that game. Rise of the Ronin was good, but it was just okay. Mind you, I really enjoyed Assassin's Creed Mirage, so I'm really hoping that we get that. Like, that's the thing I like about Assassin's Creed is that feel, the history. I loved history growing up. It
Right.
was one of my favorite courses in school. I just think that Ubisoft does such a good job of making you relive those moments
Mhm.
in time and what it would be like to live there. So I'm really hoping that they nail it. It's Ubisoft Quebec that's doing it, and they have a very good track record. So we'll see. I am cautiously optimistic because Mirage blew me away, but I think because I've wanted this game so long from Ubisoft that I might get let down. And I do feel kind of bad because that could happen with regards to reviews because everybody is expectations
Right.
for feudal Japan.
Yeah, I mean 100%. I'm just looking up like games that Ubisoft Quebec has done. Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Freedom
I've do
Cry.
so I love Syndicate. That was I think that's one of the most underrated Assassin's Creed games.
They did Odyssey, which
Yeah,
I
dude,
liked Odyssey. They did
who didn't?
Immortals Phoenix Rising.
I love that game too,
They did
man.
South Park Fractured Butthole. They've done really good games, man.
Yeah,
They have developed some really good games. I am I am of the mind
that
like
makes a movie.
just like you said, like give me 50 hours and
Yeah,
I'll be happy. Like don't give me 100 because I don't have time. You know, it's very rare that I have time to play a 100-hour story game. Like that's like to me, and this is like the nerd side of me. That's like for me a Persona game. Like I'll put 100 hours into that over whatever 6 months or whatever. Like that's not something you bang out right away. But I don't think that it won't be that 25-hour experience. But I think anywhere from like 40 to 60 is like perfect. So I'm really excited for it. Again, I feel like Ubisoft does a really good job with Assassin's Creed. They got away kind of from the formula with, you know, what was the one before Odyssey? Origins. That's the Egypt one with Origins. Like they started to play around a bit with different different parkour elements of it, like different storytelling elements of it, and then came back with with Mirage, and I think they have found a good mix. And my hope is that this game is just as good as Mirage, just as good as Valhalla, but not, not as long as Valhalla. And we'll see what happens. But this studio has made some really good stuff. So I have faith.
Now, I do want to get into there are different editions of this. And this is another point of contention right now with everybody because with Star Wars, they have the different editions and they have the different pricing strategies. But as someone that's been buying these games for years, I'm very confused because they've been doing this since Valhalla and almost every game that comes out, like Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, all of them have these tiers. So the first tier is the base game, the pre-order bonus, and it's $89.99. The gold edition is the base game, the pre-order bonus, the season's pass, which all Assassin's Creed games have a season's pass. So that's another thing. I was watching a YouTuber like freak out, like, look, they have a season's pass. I'm like, have they not bought an Assassin's Creed? And the 3 days early access. Now, to me, honestly, the 3 days early access is just really for content creators. If you want it, you can pay for it. Like I'll give you the prices. So it's 89.99 Canadian. So that means 69.99 American. You guys get stuff for a lot cheaper. And then it's 144.99 Canadian for the gold edition. The ultimate edition is 169.99. That gives you the base game, pre-order bonus, the season's pass, 3 days early access, and the ultimate pack. Now, the ultimate pack comes with one level. It comes with its own mission that you get to do, which once again, they did this for Valhalla. They had a mission, I think it was called the Berserker mission or whatever, and you get this wolf. It didn't add anything. You also get 5 skill points, a hideout pack including 4 unique ornaments, like who cares? And including gear and weapons. The stuff that you like within an hour of playing the game is absolutely
Right.
useless. It's not gonna be powerful at all. But the seasons pass, I'll say this for someone who plays a lot of Ubisoft games, here's what I'll say you do. You buy the game. If you want this game, you buy the base game of it. Okay. Within 2 months, the seasons pass will be on sale. Then you buy the seasons pass.
There you go.
And that's if you want to continue playing it. Like, why buy the season pass? How do you know you're going to like the story and want to continue playing it? Now, there is a way that if you play a lot of video games and you can keep playing it, you can get it on Ubisoft Plus. It's $19.99 a month. It's available on Xbox, it's available on PlayStation, it's available on PC. You can get the game, the Ultimate Edition, through Ubisoft Plus. It's $19.99 a month, and you can, if you want, just sign up for 1 month.
There you
It's
go.
totally up to you what you want to do.
And then
But
play it. Figure out if you
exactly.
like it.
But to have such a big controversy on this for all these games, every single game that releases does this. Like every game. Diablo that was on like now it's on Game Pass. When that released, it had 3 different versions. Every game has like the collector's edition. Heck, they have collector's editions that come out now for games that don't even come with the game. They just digital code.
Like it I don't know. Gamers, terminally online gamers are just mad all the time. And like
That's what I'm noticing, dude.
we saw it with, actually we didn't see it, but college football 25 just got, PlayStation and Xbox leaked that there's going to be a regular edition, a deluxe edition, and then a Heisman edition.
Oh, and this game comes out November 15th, people. It's the typical time that Assassin's
Yeah,
Creed comes
it's
out.
like, my brother, this is a football game. Why do you need a Heisman edition? Settle down. But like, this happens, and people weren't just like, oh my god, I can't believe they're doing this. First off, it's EA. EA is going to do this. Everyone does this. So I think people, when it comes to the big companies like Ubisoft, I think people just have a bee in their bonnet and they just want to complain. People just want to complain.
I feel the same way. I think it depends on. We saw this a lot with like Xbox's new thing, where Xbox is pretty much the rumors are like for everybody who thinks that Xbox has exclusives, it looks like they're done. Jez Corden put out an article just recently, like Halo is coming to PlayStation 5 now. Like it is what it is. But it seems that it depends on who the developer is, whether we're gonna get mad and be outraged
Right.
by their. It's not like I said, it has 2 upcoming expansions, but you can get the seasons pass to get all this stuff. If you want it, you don't have to get it. Like it's totally up to you. Like the pre-order bonus quest is thrown to the dogs. It's just a quest, people. There's going to be literally, I guarantee you, 60 hours of this game.
Right.
If this 10-minute quest is that big of a deal that you wanna get, then don't buy the game. Like, honestly. But everybody does this.
And
Like,
also, like,
every game that comes out does this.
this is a practice that happens in real life all the time. Do you want the base model car? Or do you want
Yeah,
the car with the leather seats? Or do you want the car with the leather seats, the heated seats, and the
dude,
satellite radio?
I got the heated seats and the air conditioned seats, and it's the greatest thing ever.
Air conditioned seats is a mind blowing thing to me that I cannot wrap my small brain around.
It's fantastic.
It doesn't,
I'm a
I
it's
don't,
unbelievable. It's a
man.
luxury everybody needs.
Heated seats, I get. The wife's car is heated seats. My
Dude, heated
car,
steering wheel.
my
You don't understand life until you get a heated
I've
steering wheel.
heard heated steering wheel, heated side mirrors. Like these are just life-changing things that I, as a person who has had my car for 10, almost 11 years, cannot understand because I had a baseline Chevy Cruze. Like I have a
Ooh,
baseline sedan, man. I bought that car. The dude looked at my
ca
I bought that car. The dude looked at my credit score back then and was like, "No. Here's the lowest model you can get." So that's what I drive. Wife's got the good car. I sacrificed my garbage car, and I'm okay with it.
garbage.
Garbage car, and I'm okay with that. Speaking of garbage, do you want to hear something that's really garbage?
Sure.
Division Heartland was canceled today.
Dude, honestly, this kinda, like, broke my heart because I guess we can talk about it now, Pez. You
Yeah,
haven't played
I
this.
mean,
We weren't
NDA
allowed before.
is gone. The game's not coming out, so
Yeah, so we played this game,
yeah, we sure did.
and I really liked it.
And that was probably a year,
Yeah,
and
it was a long time
it
ago, a
was
year ago
felt
now?
like forever ago. That
Yes.
and I also really liked it. It was your typical like extraction shooter. Go to the place, get the stuff. You know, kind of like your Escape from Tarkov meets the Dark Zone in Division Two meets like I don't know the
Kinda had a
DMZ.
little bit of the Fallout thing because they had the circle closing in on you, right?
Yeah, yeah. And so Court and I got to play it. It was basically like a tech test, beta test,
Yeah.
whatever. Um, and I played it for maybe like 5 hours. We got, I think, a weekend access, and I really enjoyed it. And it felt to me when we played it, like obviously not a finished product, but it was more than my guess is more than 50% of the way. You had your skills like in the division, but you were playing with other people who could grief you if they wanted. No one really did when I was playing it, which is good because I'm not into that as an old man now. But I really liked it, and I thought it would have been a nice change of pace while they were working on the Division 3, which we know is coming,
Mhm.
even without an official announcement. But
Well, no,
to
it had technically official
oh,
announcements.
did it?
They did. The Division 3 is coming, and I think that's maybe what they did, Pez. They decided that they were gonna can it and just put some of those mechanics in the Division 3. Like,
Yeah.
I personally am still playing the Division 2 right now. I have over 500 hours put into this game. It's I have to admit, it's my favorite game. Like,
Mm,
who are we kidding? I still like it to this day, right?
yeah.
It's just very weird because I we also got to play another game that's now gonna be coming out next week, which is X-Defiant.
Yep.
And I at that time, I remember when I played that like 4 or 5 times now. The first time I played it, I thought it was absolutely terrible,
Hmm.
but supposedly it's great. So my guess is they had the 2 going and they decided only for 1 to come out. This is my guess, that
Yeah.
they were like,
That's a good
they're
guess.
only gonna go with 1 live service game to support and, have the servers going and be able to keep supporting it, and they probably based on the tech test, because I did find some issues with Division Heartland, like, I didn't like how the Dark Zone could just get you at any moment. I wasn't a big
Mm,
fan of that, because then you're getting overpowered because you know what could happen, because it's a cover shooter, you can just get overrun.
right. Very
Um,
quickly.
so my guess is they decided they were gonna just go with X-Defiant. That's my guess, and that they'll to bring out the Division 3, and that's how they're gonna do it.
Makes
Because
sense.
the studios are doing less is more, like, that's the whole thing with Xbox, right? I know you guys talked about it last week, but all these studio closures, um, it seems to be the new thing. They're like, "Alright, we'll just go with a couple things instead
Hmm.
of spreading themselves thin." So, as much as I'm losing a game that I was really actually looking forward to playing, if it means I'm getting a better Division 3, then I'm okay with it.
who are we to judge?
But yes, I I think this is the new normal that we're going to be seeing just based on what is happening in the industry. Like, all the rumors, like I said before, all these games coming from Xbox that are going to be coming to PlayStation. Like they're talking Halo, they're talking everything is coming to PlayStation. It's kind of crazy when you
It
think about it.
Halo coming to PlayStation is wild.
And Sarah Bond said it in her thing, like they're going in a new direction. Like, all the things that we thought were exclusives, like, she said, "Everything is still coming day and date to Game Pass, but they're gonna release these games on PlayStation." And as someone that primarily plays on PlayStation, I have an Xbox. I play on Xbox. I'm gonna be playing, a Hellblade when it comes out next week. Um, I'll probably like Indiana Jones, huge franchise that I love. I'll probably buy it and play it on PlayStation.
Yeah.
And
You're gonna
I'm gonna put money on it right now. This fall, or this holiday, I would say probably holiday, like December at Christmas time, because it's a perfect time to do it. Starfield will come out for PlayStation.
Oh, interesting. I mean,
I think they're doing this because they need the money because the two are different. Like Nintendo and PlayStation can do their exclusives, but I think even with like Square Enix saying that they're no longer going to be doing any console exclusivity, so their games are going to be dropping everywhere. All the Final Fantasies, everything are going to be dropping on Xbox, PlayStation, everywhere, and Switch 2. It's going to drop everywhere. I have a funny feeling this is going to be the new normal. That unless it's a first party studio from Xbox or PlayStation, that is, it's gonna be that's the only way you're gonna get console exclusives. Third parties, it's all gonna be on every console, and Xbox games are gonna be on everything because Xbox just there's no way for them to ever catch up because
right.
as much as we love Game Pass, I think it's safe to say that it failed.
I mean, I would agree. I think it's vastly unsustainable. As a as a gamer, I like it because I get to pay
It's
whatever
fantastic.
third 20, 30 bucks a month and play all the games I want. As a business, it doesn't make sense.
No. And they were doing it to catch up.
Right. And when you look at streaming services as a whole, none of them make money.
Well,
Like
look at the new thing in the US. We
none
don't
of them
have it
make any
here, but
money.
like Disney Max and all that,
Yeah.
they're all gonna be
They're,
the one
they're all
subscription.
merging because, you know, you have a company like Netflix that is putting out all these like, paying all this money to put out shows, and the only way that they can make money is by raising their prices. So it's like Xbox said we're gonna make the streaming service of video games, and now it's just not working.
Well, Xbox said they were gonna do it, and it was good, but then they did, "We're gonna do day and date," and that's where they unfortunately, yes, they got a huge amount of subscribers, they got people hyped for the Xbox Series X. Hex I bought one when I didn't even have an Xbox One. It got everybody hyped to go back into the Xbox ecosystem, but unfortunately, all the games they put out weren't good.
No.
Even Halo Infinite, I'll say this till I'm blue in the face, it was just okay.
Right.
So what happens is all these people got back into the ecosystem, yet PlayStation was putting out Spider-Mans, they were putting out Horizon, they were putting out God of War, they were putting out lost even though they're putting out remasters, they're still good games. And
Mhm.
they're the non they got Stellar Blade, they got Rise of the Ronin, these worked out for them.
Right.
Final Fantasy 16, they had all these games that come out that were console exclusives. It worked out because Xbox didn't have much, and then if you look at it, I've been saying this for months, if you look at PlayStation Plus compared to, Xbox Game Pass, they're pretty equal, and you don't even have all of PlayStation's first parties are in there.
Mhm.
Like, not all the games are in there. You don't
Right.
have the newer version of The Last of Us Part 2 and the new version of The Last of Us Part 1, they're not there.
But you still have
They can they
them.
can still they can still pull those bullets out to
Right.
put them in there.
Right. So, I mean, shame about Division Heartland, but if it means Division 3 is better than Division 2, we'll be playing that for another 3 to 5 years. How long has Division 2 been out? It's like 5 or 6 years now, right?
Yeah, it was PlayStation 4.
Yeah. So yeah,
Like,
it
I
and I mean, we played it, I put it down, we picked it back up, and then I put it back down. So it is one of
Well, I
those
got
games
you
that
back in. I thought I had you back in again, and then you took off on me again.
I
You
fell
you
off.
just left me
I fell off.
because, like, there's all brand new content.
Yeah.
I've been playing
Well,
it.
I mean, oof, we grinded that thing hard. Even the second time around, grinded it real hard.
Dude, I have the best gun.
It's
I have St. Elmo's. I have the gun.
it's it is a fun game. That's the SMG, right? Is
Yeah,
that an
it's a good.
SMG? Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
it's
beast.
it's a beast,
It's
and
pretty
I've
beast.
just almost finished the new Manhunt, so I'll have that done because the new DLC content's all coming. Because there's gonna be a whole new area.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
really? Oh, I
oh
didn't know that.
really,
I gotta
oh
read up.
yeah,
I gotta read up. Is
ooh,
your boy
ooh.
back? He might be back.
You might be back. It's and so I think what we're gonna see in the next year is a new gaming landscape. Uh, 2 years ago, Division Heartline would have released regardless.
Right.
But a game like Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League released from Rocksteady, and we're finding out, dude, did you see that Jason Schreier's article? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it was Rocksteady who wanted to do it, not Warner Brothers.
Yeah,
Warner Brothers wanted a single player game, and Rocksteady's like, no, let us do this.
that is insane. Because I mean, everyone thought it was the other way around, right? Because what did Rocksteady excel at? Single player games.
Hmm.
3 bangers back to back to back. So everyone was like, "Oh yeah, they're going to make another single player Suicide Squad game," or even if it's in the vein of GTA 5 where you just drop into the next character or whatever. Nope, absolute garbage. Absolute garbage.
Dude, it is right now, it is 50% off for like once again, the super duper version, because there was 3 versions of that game when it came out.
Yeah.
Which was early access and all that. And I'm still not gonna buy it because I'm still under the impression in my brain that a year from now, that'll be free on PlayStation Plus
I
or
mean,
the
that's a
Xbox
game,
Game Pass.
that's a game that'll see an influx of purchasers in players when it's like 15% on Steam,
Dude,
right?
it's like on Steam right now, there's like 120 people playing it.
Yeah, because the game's terrible. Terrible trash game. And implemented incorrectly, it was a micro transaction nightmare. It was much like Destiny 2. But
It's funny.
I'm not going into my Destiny 2 rant.
It's funny. I tried to get back into that this week, and because my co-host on PlayStation Generation, Rice, he loves the game. So I'm like,
Shout
all
out
right.
Rice.
I was like, all right, I'm gonna try and get back into this game. I need something to get back into because I'm not playing MLB the Show anymore because I'm just not liking the seasons. I'm not liking the card progression. Just not liking it. So I'm like, I need something that I can play when I'm not playing a seriously story driven game. And I hopped in. I didn't care. I played it for about an hour and I was just like, whatever.
Yeah. I
It doesn't draw me. The story, I just don't care.
Well, the story to me now like doesn't make sense, but I also haven't played for a long time.
But like all the
And
DLCs are free if you have PlayStation Plus. They're all free.
yeah, but man, I just don't think I have that time anymore to give to Division 2. Not Division 2, Destiny 2.
Destiny.
Because Destiny 2 is going to take, you got to go through the story, which usually isn't that long, 8 hours maybe. All the strikes and then the raid and then do your nightfall, do your 3 nightfalls, do your whatever, your bounties and your missions and your whatever. So yeah, I could never like it feels going back to Destiny feels like such a daunting task
Yeah, there's
that
too much meta
I'm just like
to understand.
I can't conceptualize going back to Destiny after having not played for I don't feels like 4 years and just jumping right back in.
I think
I'd
I
be
need a
so lost.
Sherpa. I think I need like a Sherpa. Like when I played, I was lost. It was like when you came back to the Division 2, I played with you guys. It was like, let me show you everything you need to
Yeah.
know. And I was able to do that in like one run. And I'm like, all right, this is all you need to know, and we're good to go again. And here's where everything is, and here's all the good guns, and we're good to go. But when I went into Destiny, I just felt lost. So then I was
Mhm.
like, all right, what am I gonna play? So I tried Animal Well, which is also free on PlayStation Plus right now. That game was a lot of fun, but after 3 hours, it was like, I wasn't jiving with it.
Yeah. Shadow
I
Donkey. Sorry.
sorry?
Do you know the YouTuber Donkey? Video game
No,
Donkey? He's like a
no, I have
huge video game YouTuber and it was his like company that created Animal Well.
it phenomenal music, phenomenal graphics, like, it's a very good Game Pass. Like I told you before, you need to download this on PlayStation Plus and just give it a try, and I think you're gonna be like, "Dang, this is what I'm playing now." It's a very good game.
Done.
Um, And for me, Sea of Thieves, which I really, really enjoy, I need to play with someone. Now, Pez, for some reason, only wants to play by himself, so
That is not what I said. I said it's
yeah.
random and I log in for like 45 minutes.
I
And
really like that game, so that's a game that's gonna stay on my console. I'm having a lot of fun with that. But I needed some sort of story game to go into. Like, I was trying to, like, what's something that I can get some oomph into it? So, this is a daunting thing. There are 2 games that I never finished, that actually I don't really think I gave it a good try. One was Red Dead Redemption 2. 2 was Fallout 4. So, Red Dead Redemption 2, conveniently, is now on PlayStation Plus again. They dropped a new list. There's some great games that came on PlayStation Plus again, but Red Dead Redemption 2 is one of them that's just hit PlayStation Plus. So I was like, "Okay, what do I do here?" So I even went on to the Twitter, and I was asking around, and someone DM'd me and was like, "You know what? I don't think you can do Red Dead 2 because it's gonna suck everything. It's gonna be 60 to 70 hours, and you've gotta commit." I was like, "Oof, I don't know if I can commit." And hot off the heels of the TV show, I downloaded the new Fallout 4 with all the up-reses and everything like that. I played that for an hour. I think I'm back, man.
he's
Fallout
back,
4,
baby.
I just got out of the vault, Vault 111. I am just going around Sanctuary.
Mhm.
That's where I am, but I'm like, "This is good."
It felt good.
I
It
I
felt good.
I don't think I'm gonna finish it. I think I can just play it and
Yeah.
get what I want out of it.
Yep.
Get
Makes
probably
sense.
play 10 hours of it and then, get into Hellblade on the weekend. And I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna play Fallout 4 until I just don't care anymore. Well, once I get to Fenway Park, I think I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Once I hit the Fenway, I'm like, "Alright, I've seen it, I've done it."
Good old Diamond City. Here's the thing about Red Dead Redemption 2. I first played it, I hated it. I got
Yeah, I
maybe
hated
like
it.
45 minutes in. It was slow. The pacing right in the beginning is so slow. You know, a lot of people like, Arthur Morgan and all them. I was like, I don't really like these guys. These guys are like, they're not lovable jerks to me. They're just kind of jerks. And then I said, felt like maybe a couple of years later, I picked it up on the Steam Deck and I said, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot. And once you get past the first, I want to say like 2 hours, then it's like, okay, I get why people like this game. I can just ride around on my horse in the open fields, or I can just fish,
Yeah,
or
but
I
don't
can
you
just
have
do
to, like
this.
like, maintain your horse?
Yeah, like that's the thing I don't like about it is like, oh, you have to brush your horse and feed your horse and take care of your horse. And I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I want to do? I want to just sit on this bank for like an hour and I just want to fish. Leave me alone.
Like, do
Um,
you think in the new Grand Theft Auto, they're gonna make us fill up the car?
dude, I have no idea. Like, I have no idea what Rockstar has in store for us. Imagine if it's like you need to, all of a sudden your the thing in your car is like, you're running out of gas, and then all of a sudden you just like stop in the middle of like downtown Miami and you're just out of gas.
Oh, I
That'd be
can't.
horrible.
Well, that's what I didn't like about Red Dead 2, and I think that's why I didn't jump into it because of what you're explaining, because it's just so expansive and it's so daunting.
Yeah. There is a lot of little things to it. It does have that ADDism of like, oh, I'm actually just gonna go play poker against these bums for an hour. And so when someone's like, oh, it'll take you 60 to 70 hours, it's like, maybe add another 30 on top of that. Because you'll just go get lost and you'll just go like explore. And next thing you know how it is. Next thing you know, you're walking out in the middle of the woods, you come across some lady in her cabin and you have a new quest that'll take you X amount. But as LD Tatum in our chat says, there is a fine line between animated fun and simulated fun and simulated boredom. And
Yeah, I found Red Dead Redemption 2 to be boring. Like, after you do the initial I think it was the initial, almost like movie-like intro to the game that you play,
yeah,
and you go through, like, the snowy mountains and all that. I thought that was so cinematic, so phenomenal, and then as soon as I got into the first camp, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is terrible." Like, it was I really did I don't play mini games like poker or anything like that, like Gwent. from
Yeah,
Witcher 3 I can do without it. I don't care. I never play those games. I'll get the trophy and I'll just walk away and I'm just never playing it again. And I just can't. Like, I think right now, Fallout 4, it just felt fine.
hmm,
I'm inventory management, I'm killing things. I think once I have to start building at Sanctuary, I'll probably get very annoyed,
that's it.
and
Yep,
I think that's when I'll turn it off. And maybe I'll just play Sea of Thieves until Star Wars comes out. Because once Star Wars is next month, I believe, right?
I
So
believe. Yeah,
I'm in it to win it, right? Like, it's
that's
a
right.
long weekend here in Canada. I'll play Hellblade this weekend. I'm just in a gaming funk. Like, I have a bunch of games I can play. I look through my library. I'm like, oh, I got all the Call of Duties. I got all these games, and I don't want to play any of them. You know what I do want to play, but it never goes on sale yet? Is Alan Wake 2. I'm waiting. I'm just
Yeah,
waiting because
yeah.
it'll go on sale for like 10% off. I'm like, that's not enough.
Nope.
I want it for
It's
$40 and I'll buy it in an
how
instant.
much is it right now? 80,
89.99 in
89,
Canada.
99. Yeah, I have. I am a like 35% off is Alan Wake's on that list. If it's when it's 35% off, I'll jump on it because I have the first one. I played it. I should replay it again, but I
I
have a
played the demo on PlayStation for Alan Wake 2 is really good.
I have
Like,
a I
uh,
have a weird thing about replaying games I've already played. Um, where I just like if it doesn't grab me right away, I just don't do it. Like uh for example, Grounded is now out for PS5.
no,
Have
not a
friends
chance.
playing Grounded, and I was like, I've already played this game. I don't want to play with you guys. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go play Sea of Thieves by myself,
Dude,
like a
text me.
real
I'll play
pirate.
Sea of Thieves. I
All right.
really like Sea of Thieves. I think Sea of Thieves is just fun.
Yeah, I think it's a great time. I've been playing public. I've been playing on public servers. No one has dumpstered my boat. Like everyone I've come across has been very nice, which is not how it used to be at all. So maybe I'm just lucky. But again, I hop on there for 45 minutes. I pick one of my emissaries, and then I just go do like today pre-show. Got everything set up. I was a gold hoarder's emissary. I went and dug up like 6 or 7 treasure chests, turned them in, and I was like, all right, it's go time. And that's it. That's just like what that game is for me. It's just relaxing. It's relaxing
It is
and
too
it's
much
fun.
fun, especially when you're on the boat and you're pulling down the sails, you're
Hmm.
batting down the hatches, like, you're doing it all, and it's so good. Like, I don't know what it is about that game that I really enjoy. I do also enjoy playing with friends because I end up just laughing the whole time I'm
Yeah,
playing.
so good.
So I think I that's what I like about that game. But I look at all these games, I'm like, what am I looking forward to that's coming out? Star Wars, I'm looking forward to that. Assassin's Creed now in November, I'm looking forward to that. Um Indiana Jones. I'm looking forward to that this year. And then I'm like, Ninja Turtles from Outright Games.
Oh,
Extremely looking
can't
forward
wait.
to that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to Cat Quest. And then I'm like, I don't know. Just
Yeah.
meh right now. Oh, Disney's Mickey Illusions. I think I'm in on that too.
Oh, is that a
The
remake?
Rebrush.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I hold on. That's coming out this year, right? That's
I am I'm not sure when that is coming out.
I think it is. I think that's coming out this year.
But
I
like
thought I
for
saw.
me, I'm just like looking up some of the games. Like even Nintendo. I mean, I know like
Yep.
Luigi's Mansion 2 is
No,
coming out.
it just says December 31st.
Yeah. I know like
Yeah.
Luigi's Mansion 2 is coming out. But like there's no like huge
Oh, and
Nintendo
Visions of
games
Mana.
right
I
now.
played that, PAX. I really like that.
You did like that, and I was very surprised.
Dude, it was fun.
I
It was
thought
colorful,
I would have put big money on that you would have hated it.
and I'll be honest, I don't wanna sound cocky. I know I'm gonna get that game early, because Square Enix told me I would. So I'm excited to play that game, and I think that'll be my daughter's first RPG.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
That's
I think
it.
so. I think she can play that, and you
I
can
definitely think she could play that
yeah,
for
because you
sure.
can change the level. You can make it baby mode like I played it. It's
Yeah,
fine.
which is how people should be able to play games if that's how they want to. You will. You're probably gonna have to walk her through like what all the RPG skill
Mm,
trees and stuff mean, but that I think that's a good game. I think that's a
you'll
good
get
game
it.
for her.
I think because it's very simple,
Yeah,
because it's not, like, inventory management, it's just like, "Here, you're gonna build up this power, use that power." Like,
yeah.
it's more like that.
Gotcha.
I think I said it to the developers when I was there, I'm like, "It's the perfect game to" be the first RPG.
Yeah. They must have loved that too. They must have loved it. They were probably like, yes, it is.
Dude, I don't know. Like I just look at the games, Cat Quest 3. It's not much coming out this year that I'm like, oh, I gotta play that.
Mine,
Well, it's Paper Mario. I'm kind of debating getting. That looks kind of good.
man, I wish Nintendo would stop just remastering their games and like give me another Mario Odyssey, which they're probably waiting for Switch 2 or whatever. As a Nintendo shareholder, I don't have information yet, but once I do, I will break it live on Three Dads on a Console. But I want like again, Thousand Year Door is incredible. It's the best paid Mario game out there. Luigi's Mansion 2 is a lot of fun. The Princess Peach that they put out in March was a
I
blast.
thought that was a good game. Yeah,
It was a good game. Sold over 1 million copies, which I'm very happy about because Princess Peach also deserves to have her own stuff. She can't just be the damsel in distress all the time. But outside of like, for me, obviously Helldivers, I talked a lot about it before it came out, and then it came out and blew the world up democratically, and that was amazing.
that's my game of the year right now.
Yeah,
Still.
that is mine too. I'm not gonna, Hades 2, obviously a game that I was very, very excited about. I have a first impressions review up on the channel right now.
Which
Very
is just
excited about that.
it's just an impressions people.
Man, that one
comment.
guy got really mad. He was just
Yeah,
like, "Bro, how are you gonna do a review after 2 hours?" Like, I didn't.
It's just an impression.
Literally didn't. I didn't. But
Yeah.
whatever. Thank you for your interaction. I appreciate it.
Oh, dude, somebody today on Twitter, someone I saw, I was replying to someone's tweet about Assassin's Creed. They're like, "Are you still hyped based on everything everybody's complaining about?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm still hyped." The guy replies like, "What do you mean by that?" I'm like, "I'm still hyped." They're like, "So it doesn't even bother you?" And I'm like, I'm not responding to you. I
No.
don't care.
No,
I'm not responding to you.
I don't need to
You're
fight with
baiting
you.
me.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't like. I'm answering your question.
It's a video
Shut
game. I
up.
just want to play the video game. Please let me play the video game.
Shut your mouth before
I
shut
don't
it
know what
for
it
you.
is, and I'll say that. Why do people? And I it can't. I doubt it's a generational thing, but and it probably is. But they're just looking. They're like, what's the thing I can hate about this?
I think because it creates it online, and this is why I always preface it with terminally online. It creates rage, like creates clicks. Like rage clicks are real. So if you put out, trust me, I run the most garbage hockey account that any of you could ever visit. It is hilarious, but you intentionally bait people because then you get responses, which then all of a sudden you're like, hey, I'm gonna monetize this and make some money off of just making people mad. Like that's what the internet is. It's just if you just tweet like nice positive stuff, people be like, oh yeah, that's real nice. The moment you say like Fallout 76 was always terrible, 1 million people jump all over you, and then you're like, oh yeah, I have 2 million impressions. We're good to go. That's how it rolls. So people are just always gonna be mad. You get more, they say you get more. You all right over there?
My eye is really bothering me. You notice it? Look at
It's
it.
looks a little swollen.
Yeah, it's really bothering me. I gotta go.
You got allergies?
No, I'm sick, and it just is it that bad?
I mean, I didn't think it was bad until you said like, look at my eye. It's really
And now you can
swollen.
see it. It's swollen. Yeah, it's very swollen. Yay. Anyways,
That's
I
all
know
right.
how to fix it.
Yeah, a little NyQuil cocktail.
I've been rubbing it. It's my own fault.
It happens to the best of us. Don't, you're rubbing more than twice. It's gonna pop up there. That's what happens. That's what happens. That's what the doctor says. I totally forget what I was talking about.
I don't know, man. My eye is like it's like really bothering me.
Court's eye
It's like
threw us off.
it's fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Before
I'll
we
put a
go,
hot cloth on it.
before we go, give me your game 6 Friday night in Boston prediction.
Panthers win at 3-2.
As the agent of chaos on the show that I like to be, Boston Bruins win 3-2 in overtime, force a game 7 in Florida.
I hope so. If they play like they did in game 5 and they shoot the puck, I know. Crazy that they shoot pucks and they score goals. then they have a chance. And I have with a good conscience that Marchand will be back for game 6, so that's a good thing for them.
100%. You know, he's
And I'll say
injured,
this,
but go ahead.
Danton Heinen definitely 100% interfered with the goaltender, but here's what I will say. Bobrovsky definitely reset himself, and he was more mad at the stick coming out of his hand. Well, the stick coming out of his hand was by his defenseman, Oliver Ekman-Larsson.
Right.
So, did Heinen go into the blue paint and his skate touched Bobrovsky? 100%. But Bobrovsky moved, reset. Also, Heinen was on the right-hand side. The puck was shot on the left and scored on the left.
Mhm.
So, Bobrovsky, I truly think they would have called the goal back if Bobrovsky couldn't go right, but because Bobrovsky could go left, that's on him, and when he tried to go left, his stick was caught up in Oliver Ekman-Larsson's stick, and Oliver Ekman-Larsson was the one that interfered with him. If that was Heinen's stick and not Oliver Ekman-Larsson's stick, I
They would
do
have
think
got
they would have called the goal back,
I
but they
agree.
also should never have called the Benton they should have called the Benton goal back, and he should never have played in the game.
Correct.
There's my
The
takes.
Let me ask you, Court, you have watched hockey your whole life. Literally your whole life.
Yes.
Uh is the NHL officiating getting worse, or is social media magnifying how bad it's always been?
Social media magnifies, but I do think that this series, the 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 no goal calls and the blatant punch to someone's face, I think the NHL's gotta get their poop together, and the refs need to start answering for their calls. The NBA does it, the NFL does it, I think they all do a good job. I truly think if the refs are held accountable, we get a different ref game
Hmm.
because there was a mic'd up moment this year in the playoffs where the ref turns to the guy and goes, "Shut the F up, you're winning the game." So, it was a
Yikes.
blatant penalty when a team was up 5-1, a blatant penalty, and the team that was up was like, "Why aren't you calling that?" And the ref was like, "You're up 5-1."
I mean,
I don't care if you're up you still call the penalty.
we're talking about a league where Tim Peel was caught on a hot mic saying, I gave him a penalty because I wanted to. It's like that's not how any of this works. So
Well, dude, Charlie Coyle's first penalty that was hooking,
the
it was
hooking,
the most magical hooking I've ever seen when a player only has
horrible.
one hand on his stick. I will even say that the Lindell penalty that Lindell got was phantom too. I didn't understand what his penalty was.
No, it
He
didn't.
Bruins got a power play. I'm like, I don't know what he did.
No,
It was a
no,
slash, and I'm like, what slash?
it just doesn't. I think they were maybe calling it way too tight, way tighter than they should have because
I don't even think it was tight. I think it was just they were just
it
making
just
things
doesn't.
up.
None of the calls really, like, I think it was 4-2 in favor of Florida. Almost none of the calls made sense, and it just this seems like an off the rails series. After the NHL said, "Yep," in game 3 or game 4, I think, when they said, "Yep, we're gonna pay attention. You guys better get it together." It was
There
game
was but
3 because
which is
Marchand was up
hilarious
for him.
because that doesn't make any sense.
No.
Because that Sam Bennett did the definition of a cross check to interfere with the goalie. And the best part is what the rule says that they should have, 1, called the goal back, and 2, the refs were allowed to give him a penalty.
Mhm. They did it
And everybody
all
was like, "Well,
incorrect.
he barely pushed him." I'm like, "But he pushed him enough that once he touched his goalie, that made him fall."
Right.
But I was more annoyed with the fact that the NHL, and I think that's why if you notice on the ruling on the last one, they barely put anything because the NHL put in the ruling, they didn't think that Swayman could make the save.
Right. Right.
So, and I was just like, well, technically, no one thought Bobrovsky the other night was going to make that save in the Tampa series, and he did.
Right.
So you should never assume whether a guy makes a save or not because that's stupid. The rule states that if you, the offensive player, push a defensive player into the goaltender, regardless of how he got there, automatically it's goaltender interference.
Mhm.
Automatically. And if there was a penalty that caused you to do it, which was a cross check, that player gets a penalty. So they should have overturned the goal, Bruins should have been on the power play. Bruins win game 4, and they ended up winning game 5. Bruins should be up 3-2 in this series.
Again,
And Florida's been the better team, and Boston hasn't played well. They've
right.
had 2 good games in this series, and they've won both of them. They've had 3 really bad games, and one of them they should have won.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, Agent of Chaos, I think they come out buzzing Friday. And then we're going Sunday in Florida. I think Sunday, maybe Monday. So
I know it's Sunday.
Sunday in Florida, baby. Game 7. Ooh, let's go. That'd be exciting.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. Court, anything else you want to talk to the people about before we get out of here?
We'll have a Hellblade. I'll be doing a Hellblade review. Once the early access is opened up for that game, I'll hop in. We'll have impressions. I'll do a video impressions on that. We'll talk about it next week on the show. No, I don't know. I'm really in a hockey mode. I don't know if you see it on social media right now. I'm just watching a lot of hockey right now.
I hear
It's
you, man.
playoffs, man. I don't care.
Yep, no, I'm watching a lot of hockey.
Oh, I'm gonna go see If. I'm gonna go see If this weekend and
can't
take
wait
my
to hear
daughter to a
about
Blue
it.
Jay game. So we'll talk about it next week.
Can't wait to hear about it. I think it's a couple of things. One, I don't think there are like that many must-play video games in the market right now. And 2, playoff hockey.
Yeah, seriously, playoff hockey, man. And the Blue Jays have actually played well lately, so I got that going for me.
Can't say the same about the Pirates. Guys, if you enjoyed the podcast, youtube.com/3dads on a console, listen to our flagship podcast, our only podcast. Or check us out on I like the term. It's a good term. Or check us out over on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get all your major podcasts. Feel free to leave us a like, subscribe obviously to the channel, leave us a good review on one of your major podcasting platforms, and check out the dope content that we have going on.
Yeah, we're gonna have a giveaway coming up soon.
Yeah. Hey, if you haven't played A Space for the Unbound or Coffee Talk 2, now you can. Shout out Togi for hooking us up with a couple codes to give away. And with that, head on over to x.com, aka twitter.com/3dads, 3dads pod. Check us out there and hang out with us. We will talk to you later. You guys have a great rest of your week. Goodbye.